Okay, I'm going to show you why this market analyzer that we have for our XABC pattern suite is number one, my biggest workhorse and time saver, and number two, why it alerts me to all my opportunities and how I configure it to do so. So listen, this tool still gets me excited. What we're going to be talking about is, let me get a chart up here, is how we get these patterns alerted to. So that we don't have to do all the legwork ourselves, and we basically get presented with opportunities every day. So this chart, I've kind of done this specifically for our session here. Normally, there's a couple columns I don't have. I don't have usually this one, and I don't usually have this one running in this template. I'm going to tell you more about how I lay these out, but it's super easy. And once they get alerted, once these patterns pop up, we get opportunities just alerted to us, sound, pop-up, email, whatever you want. So let's explain how this works. First of all, the layout. This is going to be just a label bar, and I put all my FX pairs right in here. So everything below is all FX, everything above is all futures. I believe there is a label if we scroll up. Yep, there we go. So there's futures at the top, forex at the bottom. You can put stocks in here. You can do anything that NinjaTrader scans, crypto, anything you want. You can make this yours. We give you the template so that you have something to start with, but then you can kind of make it yours. Now, what I look for, and then we'll get into customization and how we use this, but what I look for is I look for patterns like, let's just say this one on the ES, this is a bullish ETP4. So if I click on here and on the ES, and then I pull up the chart, let me just get it up here. Okay, this is the pattern that it has on there right now that was found on the market analyzer when it obviously came out. And now it started to reverse. So if we wanted to talk about what I look for and how I scan for these, and yes, you know, a new pattern pops up, a box shows, and we can go that chart, and that's great. But let's just say you first come down to your desk in the morning and you're like, okay, well, what do I trade? I want some sort of an opportunity. What do you look for? So yes, you can look for a single pattern like this on a specific time frame, on a specific instrument that you might like to trade, but essentially what I do is I have kind of like a pecking order. So yes, looking for single patterns are great, but when you have patterns like this that are on different time frames, that is the same pattern, then these ones are just going to be blown up as we kind of go down a time frame. But they're also going to be clearer and more obvious types of patterns, and that's what we want to see. So this is going to be one of the things I'll look at before a singular pattern is patterns that have what I call doubles. Now, what's even better than a double is like a mixed double, and I don't think we have any right now. They are going to be more rare, but I love them when they happen. Imagine if this said an ETP3, okay? So if we had an ETP1, an extended time pattern, this is going to be my preferred sort of setup because we have two different patterns that are overlapping on two different time frames. So if I'm trading the short term, maybe I have a long-term bias as well, but they're both going to be in the same direction, and they are both going to be different patterns, but they're going to be lining up together. We call them nested patterns. So maybe if you visualize these patterns before, you might have something like this, and then you might have a different type of pattern, maybe either within it or something else where you have them overlapping. And I love to see that. So my pecking order is going to be my mixed double, right? And then it's going to be my doubles if you have something the same. Okay, and then it's going to be my single. Okay, now if I have those, I'll have more than enough to look at. Now, where you can get to customizing it, first of all, it doesn't have to be time frames. I want to pull this up and show you that you can have it as a Renko type chart. I guess that'd be easier. And you can have whatever settings you want. You have a bunch of them. You can have one of them. You can have however you want. And then the second thing that I've added in here is a risk versus reward. And you can see whenever we have a pattern that comes out, we also have a risk versus reward number. So this tells me that for every dollar I risk, I'm going to be able to make $4.2. Now that's important because I'm only going to show the risk versus reward here and have it in green if it's greater than the number 2. Now, here's why. Let me just clear this away. Really easy. If you're going to make $2 for every $1 of risk, then you only need to be right 33% of the time. Okay, that's it, 33. Anything more than that is obviously going to make you money. 33 is break even. Anything less than that, you're losing. So 33% is not that hard of a bar. Okay, so 2 to 1 is going to be my minimum. I'm going to look for patterns that line up with that. This is a 4.2. It's an ETP3 pattern. These are great because they're actually pretty flexible to be trading within trends or counter trend or in ranges. They're very versatile. So 4.2 is exactly like what I'd want to see. And we can have this column, this risk versus reward, for every column on every time frame or for every Ranko chart setting or whatever it might be. Maybe it's volume based, whatever you want. You can have all these risk versus rewards in there. You can even have something that does the bar count. The bar count is one of the ways that we will filter these patterns to make sure we have a bar count that gives us an edge. So we need to have so many bars as a minimum within a pattern. If we don't have that, don't show it to me on the scanner and don't alert it to me. What I want to see are patterns that have more than that. So I can add a bar count column in here and just change the plot type to bar type or bar counts. And next thing you know, it will tell you, where you have patterns that meet that minimum bar count. So it's extremely useful in that regards. Now, the market analyzer is not something to be scared of because we include all these templates for you. We even have the alerts all set up in a workspace so that when you open the workspace, this window opens, the chart window opens, and you can basically start going at it. So this is going to be your workhorse. This is going to be what saves you all the time, which is going to basically unchain you from your desk because you can have it email you, you have to do something else. So if you are quite busy, this is probably something that you're going to want because it's going to every tick on the market check for new patterns. And once the pattern comes out, you'll have plenty of time to give you an idea. Let's just say we took I don't know what pattern you want to look at. You want to look at something like gold. There's an RTP2 on gold. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this gold pattern and then I'm going to bring up my chart here. Let me see if I can bring it over here. And that was on a 30-minute. Okay, so here's the pattern. Now, I'm not going to get into the details on how we calculate this because it's probably going to put some of you to sleep. You can see down here it says 28 bars, time to complete, TTC. So this is calculated that it's going to take 28 bars for this pattern to complete. 28 bars on a 30-minute chart. Well, that's going to be half of 28. It's going to be 14 hours. So this pattern, you'll likely be in there for 14 hours. It's going to take, let me look, about 6.5 hours for this pattern to reverse once it's alerted to. So we already got the alert in the market analyzer. We have about 6.5 hours for a 30-minute pattern of this size to complete. Okay, now we have to be either in the green or the yellow. So you can imagine how much time you have. Now, if you don't want it to take that much time, go down to a smaller time frame. If maybe you, I don't know, maybe you have a certain job that you can only check when you come home from work or something, then you might be looking at like a 60-minute or a 4-hour time frame so that you have enough time to still enter the trades. Or maybe it's going to be a mix. Maybe you are I don't know, you work shift work and you can only check it either between shifts and you can trade between shifts or at the end of the day. So, I don't know, like, I mean, you trade tick charts on one time and a longer term time frame when you get home. There's lots of ways that you can do this, but the market analyzer can be customized so that you can do it however you wish. So it makes it extremely easy. All we're doing is waiting for the pattern to pop up. And then once you know what to do with the pattern, which is what you're obviously going to be learning and putting together a full execution plan on, so you know what you need to be doing every step of the way, is pattern pops up, you open the chart, you know if you want to place your trade or not, and then you move on. So this is going to be your workhorse. You're not cycling through charts. You're not trying to find the next pattern. There's enough patterns in a day on futures and forex on every single time frame. If you did not filter them, now we filter them obviously with like bar counts and other things we look for, the risk reward, to narrow that down. But if you did no filtering at all, you could be looking at upwards to 1,000 patterns a day. So once we filter them, we can usually get it down to like the top 30. So if you want more or less, you can also add some more filtering. So there's endless possibilities here, but we help you get this all set up. The workspace that's included includes all your templates, including your market analyzer template that looks like this, that will get you set up so that you can start looking for those patterns and getting alerted to them and actually practice the trading part of it instead of just trying to find that next opportunity. Anyways, I hope this has helped kind of show you around, do a little spotlight on some of our software features and what really kind of, you know, keeps me excited about it. And one of the things I do appreciate the most is this scanner. All right, guys, take care. All the best. Subscribe if you want to see some more videos in the future about some of these software highlights. And we will see you guys back in the next video. Or if you're part of our membership, then we'll see you in the next live stream.